minutes. She said, good luck, they haven't done that in 30 years. I told her I'm talking about my comedy act. She said, yeah, that's what I call it too. And my kids are always saying, Dad, you're so old, you're out of it, you don't know what's going on. The other day I heard my sons, they were talking about tweet and Twitter. I said, you know, in my day we called it twat. Then I heard them talking about something called friends with benefits. Sounded like something else I'd call twat. Actually, I feel sorry for kids nowadays, you know, little kids. They don't get any freedom. Everything is a play date and constant adult supervision. When I was a kid, we lived in the South Bronx. My parents used to say, Paul, why don't you go outside and play? A few years ago, I was talking to my father. I said, Dad, you know, when I was a kid, you and Mom used to let me go outside and play by myself. Must have been a lot safer back then, right? He said, no, we just didn't give a shit. So I feel sorry for the president, too. Everything that guy does just turns to shit. You know, the economy sucks. You know, he gives us a timetable to get out of Afghanistan. Nobody likes it. He frees a prisoner of war. The guy turns out to be a traitor. Everybody wants to get out of Iraq. He pulls us out. ISIS goes in. You know, Obama's approval rating is so low. The other day I heard 2 African Americans refer to him as our first half-white president. And I don't care what you think of Obama. I don't care if you think he's a good president or a bad president. He is a symbol for how far this country has come since the Civil Rights Movement. Am I right? I mean, a young black boy or girl growing up in this country today, they know they can do anything they set their mind to. The only thing black people can't do is use metaphors. When white people make comparisons, we say things like, fast as lightning, slow as molasses, big as a house. Black people aren't too concerned with analogies. With them it's always, fast as a motherfucker. Slow as a motherfucker. Big as a motherfucker. You'd think that if you're trying to paint the word picture, that wouldn't work. But we all understand. Fast as a motherfucker. That motherfucker can move. I told that joke in an urban club in the Bronx yesterday. Urban club, that's a euphemism for the ghetto. The ghetto, that's a euphemism for a shitty neighborhood. I told that joke in a shitty neighborhood in the Bronx last night. I got as far as saying what it is that black people can't do. And before I could go any further, some guy in the audience yells out, "What's a motherfucking metaphor?" So having a black president reminds me of a friend of mine. I've known this guy for about 30 years. He grew up in Alabama, spent his whole life in the Deep South. He calls me up one day, he says, "Hey, Paul, we just elected a Jew to be the mayor of my town." I said, "It doesn't surprise me, Don. They didn't do it because they think he's the best guy for the job and they're so open-minded. They just did it so when everything goes to hell in a handbasket, they can blame it on the Jews." He said, "That ain't it. We're going to do that anyhow." So I guess it's obvious by now that I'm a deep thinker. Did you ever stop to realize that we actually pay people to make us laugh? I guess I'm not one of them. And that's okay, because what really hurts is we also pay people to have sex with us, and I didn't make that list either. So I've been married for 35 years. Not in a row. It took a couple of tries to get to 35. I think one more and I qualify as an expert. After my second marriage, I went home one night to find my house full of Gentiles. The scary part was they were all my in-laws. At dinner, my mother-in-law said, "Paul," she said, "you know, we never knew any Jewish people before we met you. And with everything that we heard, we really didn't know what to expect. But we really like you. We think you're nice. We can't even imagine you killing Jesus." I said, "Yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't have done that. But you try hanging out with some guy who thinks he walks on water." And since you mentioned it, what was it you heard? She said, "Well, everybody knows you guys are all clannish and you cut each other's special deals and help each other out. But we think that's good. It shows a strong sense of family. And you're God's chosen people, and Jesus and the disciples were Jewish, and that's fantastic." I said, "I'm glad you feel that way, because we're raising the kids Jewish." "No! Don't say it's not so, they'll never go to heaven!" I said, "Don't worry, I got an uncle in the business." So later on, we're in the den, we're watching TV. I got the remote in my hand. I keep on changing the channel. I can't help myself. Everybody's getting all upset. They're saying, "Stop, this is good, leave it, I like this." And I'm just hitting that button and hitting that button. I notice my father-in-law sitting there, he's glaring at me. All of a sudden he says, "It's true, isn't it?" I said, "What's true?" He says, "You guys do control the media." So the first time I ever used this routine, I was very nervous. I mean, I talk about some controversial things. You know, I talk about race, I talk about religion. I didn't know how people were going to receive it. I finished my set, and as I was getting down off the stage, I noticed that there was a young, very demure-looking black woman. She was sitting at the bar by herself. She had her legs crossed, she was sipping a martini, and she had a very fragile, almost lost look about her. I walked over, I sat down next to her, and I said, "You know, I hope I didn't offend you." And she said, "Oh no, I laughed like a motherfucker."